I'm here today as a candidate for the mayor of Albany. I'm here as a resident who has a vested interest in the city's success and as a journalist who believes in the checks and balances to hold elected government leaders firmly in place and held to their promises. I'm speaking to the residents of the city of Albany who will be going to the polls tomorrow to cast their vote for the next mayor of Albany. I'm speaking to the directors, editors, publishers, writers, and other journalists whose job it is to place elected officials under scrutiny, to ask hard questions, and to dig for answers on behalf of the people. I'm speaking to the 15 sitting Common Council members in Albany and to the Common Council President, Corey Ellis. I'm speaking to the union heads, the rank and file DGS, police, fire, and dispatch, and to the taxpayers of Albany. And I'm sad to say, I do not have good news. As a leader and mayoral candidate, I am committed to upholding the laws and ordinances in the city of Albany. I said from the first day that I would enforce transparency and demand accountability, and that I would stand with integrity before the people of Albany and put people over politics. I hold in my hands a copy of the Whistleblower report, which has been circulating throughout the city of Albany, Albany County, and the state of New York. A copy of this report has been sent to the Albany County District Attorney David Soares, Albany County Executive Dan McCoy, the Chief Enforcement Counsel of the State Board of Elections. Copies have been sent to all 15 elected members of the Common Council and the Common Council President Corey Ellis and Sheriff Craig Apple, who is working right now on taking down a disgraced governor. These are people you trust and whose jobs it is to ensure justice be served, and they must now step forward and take down a disgraced mayor, because people are more important than politics. In this report, you will find a number of shocking details regarding the depth of corruption and misdealings of the incumbent Mayor Sheehan, her abuses of power, and the deception of the taxpayers and residents in the city of Albany. Equally shocking is the realization that the Common Council is aware and has been aware of this corruption all along and has failed to speak up on your behalf, leaving you to be endlessly victimized by your corrupt mayor. The corruption and great deception is exactly why I have stepped up to run as mayor of Albany. In this document, the Whistleblower report is a transcript of a tense conversation between the Common Council and members of a representatives of Kathy Sheehan's office, revealing that Kathy Sheehan sidestepped their oversight and manipulated the laws and ordinances in Albany pertaining to their oversight regarding the hero pay, using a technicality to skirt the law and breaking her promise to include your elected officials in on the conversation. Judy Duchette, representative of the 9th Ward, Richard Conti, representative of the 6th Ward, who wrote the ordinance that Sheehan discarded, Owusu Anane from the 10th Ward, where all hell broke loose last night, have expressed their disagreement with Sheehan's underhanded moves, and they have acknowledged that she lied when she said they would be included in financial discussions when in fact they were shut out. The Common Council in Albany is deeply divided, and from the information in this whistleblower report, it is clear they've been internally aware of Sheehan's corruption and abuse for some time. She overrode the County Council and destroyed the legacy of holiday lights in the park. They have pushed back about her wild spending while people continue to suffer in garbage and blight and crime in the city. They've questioned her refusal to follow the laws in Albany that govern the spending of your tax dollars. There is a deep divide between Kathy Sheehan and the Common Council, but will they stand on your behalf for justice? Will anyone stand? I will. And as your next mayor, I will continue my pursuit of justice. We will tear through the wall of corruption brick by brick if we must. Are the copies of 3 secret letters. One from the labor relations specialist at the local blue-collar union, Local 66, stating that incumbent Mayor Sheehan lied to the press and to city workers when she sent a letter with her signature on it, telling them that their hero pay was being withheld because she said their union had walked away from negotiations when in fact, according to the labor relations specialist, that was a lie. It was Sheehan who declared an impasse on September 27th. In this report is a letter from Common Council President Corey Ellis. It's an internal memo given privately to me that, quote, says, "I am concerned that the administration used hero pay as a negotiation tactic to put the members against their leadership and to get their union representatives to agree to a contract, we must call upon the mayor to issue an apology immediately. And also included here in the whistleblower report is a copy of the fraudulent letter with Kathy Sheehan's signature on it, given privately to me by one of our city's great heroes. It was mailed to the personal homes of city workers, lying about who was really withholding their hero pay. Our heroes deserve their pay and more than what they got, but Kathy Sheehan dishonored you, used you and abused you, walked on your back, and then gave you crumbs in a Hail Mary attempt from a failed mayor at an election year loyalty grab, using our heroes as a bargaining chip. You should have gotten more and better, but you didn't, because it was never about you. It's time to vote out corruption and fire Kathy Sheehan, the enemy of the common man, the enemy of the family, the enemy of the small business, the enemy of the taxpayer, and the enemy of the hard, honest worker. As of last night, Kathy Sheehan placed a desperate call to dispatch. But she did not reach dispatch. She reached the police officer covering dispatch. And she begged for help, while a gang broke into St. Joseph's Church, lit fires, and performed a ritual. An officer broke his arm in that melee, and there was a gangland street fight on Grove and Woodlawn. And an illegal bike gang crashed up the cars of residents. This is Sheehan's Albany. Our police have been without a contract, pulling up to 90 hours a week overtime. Dispatch is down to one person. Fire is scrambling to pick up the slack, and we have 30 new recruits, but the reality is most will be gone in under a year. As we hemorrhage and suffer without protection in a year where there have been more than twice the yearly average of shootings with injury and double the amount of homicides. People are dying while the mayor spends more time screwing over the city workers in an attempt to purchase an election when she's the most failed mayor the city has seen in a century. In this document, you will find that Kathy Sheehan, who was charged with receiving illegal campaign donations, had to donate nearly $400,000 to herself in the last election to buy her way out of her PR nightmare, who pretended to cut her wage in half in 2020 during a pandemic, with an unitemized line on her budget for personal expenses totaling over $500,000. She sat on the board of a number of organizations like Proctor's and has appointed her fellow board members to city positions over the budget, given them city contracts over other businesses, has moved their companies to prime locations in Albany, and put her fellow board members in charge of millions of dollars of COVID relief money. There's more on this report. You can find it on my website, a full copy at transformalbany.com. This needs to be given full review by the elected officials to ensure justice and integrity. Action must be taken against Albany's corrupt Mayor Sheehan, and the people of Albany must move forward immediately and take swift action to remove her from office. The city needs transformation. My plan, Operation Transform, will provide the framework for what we build in the future. Today is a sad day. I did not want to bear this terrible news, but I could not stay silent in fear that I would be accused of running a negative campaign. These are the facts, and they are all negative. Finally, in the interest of full transparency and accountability, which I am committed to, I would like to announce that I am the writer of the Whistleblower report. This report was compiled by me with information sent to me in secret and at great personal risk to the people in Albany who sit on the Common Council, who work in civil service jobs, people within City Hall, people within the Albany Democratic political machine, people in Albany serving on the police, fire, and dispatch. They want Sheehan gone too. Across this city, people just like you see what you see. They feel like you feel. And they were willing to come at great personal risk to themselves, to me, in hopes that Alicia Purdy would be the next mayor of Albany and that our suffering and abuses would stop. These people are to be commended for their courage, and I take very seriously the burden of responsibility upon me to represent this city well and honor people over politics. Our city is at a breaking point. The corruption of the Sheehan administration has brought us here. Tomorrow is election day. And it's only through an election that a corrupt mayor in Albany can be brought to justice. You are the carriers of justice in the city of Albany. Voters of Albany, you have the power to change, transform, and refocus our trajectory for our future. With your vote for me, Alicia Purdy, for mayor in the city of Albany, I commit to upholding liberty and justice for all. I will continue to pursue the corruption and expose it no matter where it exists. I have proven over the past 10 months of my campaign that I will put people over politics, and that is the transformation we need in the city of Albany, with me as the next mayor of the city of Albany. I hope that your vote when you go to the polls tomorrow will be for me. We will vote out corruption with Alicia Purdy for mayor. We will expose corruption. We will not tolerate it. and it doesn't matter where it exists, it will no longer be allowed to continue to live. Mayor of Albany, Alicia Purdy. I will see you tomorrow at the polls. Thank you for joining me today.
Woo!